Hello lovers, welcome back. Coach Carrie here. So today we are here with another zodiac sign video, and judging by the title, we are talking about the pettiest sun signs of the zodiac. All right, so the reason why I really wanted to do this particular video is because some sun signs have more vindictive type behavior than others. And I really wanted to shed light on this particular subject because pettiness, vengefulness, and just vindictive behavior plays a major role in relationships and is ultimately the demise of that because of this type of behavior. All right, so I just wanted to break down the three top sun signs who are the most pettiest or vindictive. This difference. And I want to explain just a little about what that behavior looks like, and just give you some examples, and then I'll just touch briefly on the other signs. Okay, all right, so let's get started. Ooh. So our first, the top most pettiest and vindictive sun sign would be Cancer. All right, primarily the males. The males are hypersensitive, they're super sensitive, and they get deeply into their feels to a point to where they have to be passive aggressive in some way. Now the females, they're more likely to drink it off or go get high or do something, maybe go to a bar and flirt with everybody there, that sort of thing. But for the male Cancerian, it can get very ugly because their level of vengeance is more like torture. Okay, when they clamp onto you with their crabby little claws, they may not ever let you go from that. True story. I actually have a good friend of mine who has been separated for 6 years, living separately for 6 years. Though the wife wants to come back, he will not allow it. Neither will he allow his claws to let her go. So as a result, he holds on to her because of what she's done and will not waver from that. Okay, so that is just an example of what their torturous, vindictive behavior looks like. If a Cancerian really wants to get you back, he will get you back, and it happens immediately. It can happen for a very long period of time. And if you do not believe me, ask Curtis Jackson. He is the king of pettiness. God, I hope he doesn't see this. Next, our second top most vindictive sign would be, of course, we all know, Scorpio. Yes, Scorpios, they have a tendency to probably lash out at first. There's a lot of arguments, and there's anger, and there's a temper. Just say for example, while they are giving you the third degree and you're on your phone, just know that that phone is likely to be flying across the room. Or when you wake up, you may walk outside to go to work and realize that you have 3 flat tires, because if you have 4, the insurance will cover it for you. But Scorpios are quite smart in this area, and there's all kinds of shenanigans like that. However, once they kind of get over their little, what's the word? Once they get over their little temper tantrum, they'll go back to being the way they were. However, Scorpios, they have obsessive behavior. So if you've really done something to them to take them out of character, they will not let that go. So they will continuously watch you, snoop, do whatever it is to take to make sure that never happens again. All right, so just be in for a wild ride with the Scorpio. Yeah, things can get quite crazy, to say the least. All right, Scorpio will snatch your soul. And the last of the three, Virgo. I know everyone likes to say Virgo, they're the angels, they're the goody two shoes of the zodiac. Yeah, though that may be, but when you're dealing with someone who really embraces their shadow side and they want to get back at you, especially if they are not as mature or less evolved, this type of Virgo will make it their mission. See, the thing about Virgo is they will wait it out. You know, they're the ones who will punish you. Virgos are known to punish people out of love or whatever, but they will make you wait. Just because you haven't gotten it right away, like Cancer or Scorpio, you may be waiting days, weeks, months. When your birthday comes around that next year and you're at the office and everyone has been celebrating you, and some strange person walks up to you, hands you something, you're thinking it's probably a birthday card, and you look down and what do you see? Dissolution of marriage. And what do you hear? You've been served. That's how Virgo operates. They will get you back, and just know that is not the last that you will hear from them, okay? It probably only gets worse. Listen, I know factually. I was stalked for nearly 3 years by a Virgo, all because I would not move to Chicago with him, okay? So yeah, they can be very ruthless, to say the least. Unrelenting. Now we want to go into our other signs so that you may have an idea. Pisces, they're kind of up there as well. They're more in their feelings, they're more expressive, but when they are trying to be petty, they're not vindictive like the other 3 signs. You know, vindictiveness, it carries out over a long period of time. Well, for the Piscean, theirs is more about petty behavior. So, true story. I actually worked with someone and she was telling me how it was her birthday and how her guy completely neglected to acknowledge it. They weren't on bad terms or anything. He just didn't. So it really hurt her. It hurt her so bad. The next day she took it to heart, got wasted. His friend came over thinking he was home. He wasn't. She flirted with the friends. Let's just say things led to one thing to another. Oh yes. Fast forward, weeks later, she's telling me, girl, I got some results back. You know, I went to go get checked out. Turns out I don't have not one STD. I have 2. And guess what? Here's the kicker. I'm already like, wait, whoa, what? From that guy. But the kicker is her way of being petty was telling her boyfriend that she does his friend. And she was elated and excited about it, about telling him that. Okay, so that was her way of getting him back from that. And just know that was the last time I had any kind of interaction with her. Yes, that was the pettiest of the petty. Right? Moving right along. Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarians, they're not the most emotional type people, though they have feelings, you know, that sort of thing. Sagittarians, when you have crossed them in some way, almost like insulting their intelligence or making them look bad in front of people, because they really do care about their appearance and how they are perceived by people. You know, kind of like Capricorn. True story. One day I was working in an executive office. One of the sales ladies come in the back and she's like, Kira, you're not going to believe this. That stole my client, and she wouldn't have to do that if she wasn't having an affair with the general manager, and yada, 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 yada. Listen, it had just happened like minutes before. She immediately came and put this lady on blast. Guess what? It didn't end there. See, Sagittarians, they like to gossip. They will put you out there. They will make you look bad as though you have them. That type of gossip, it never ended for the whole 2 years that I continued to be there up until I left. And if you don't believe me that a Sagittarius will put you on blast, ask Nene Leaks. If you visit her IG page, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. They will come back for you in the pettiest way, and it would not be good for you, your image. All right. Next, So I want to say Aries and Aquarius, they kind of have that same type of demeanor when they are in a situation to where they feel like they want to take some kind of action. You know, they want to get some sort of revenge. But for the most part, these two particular signs, especially Aries, they're not really into that. They may give you some lip or mouth or whatever. But just know, if they are trying to get back at you, whatever you've been complaining about or whatever the concern is, just know it will progressively worsen. Especially with an Aries, they're not willing to change all that much as far as their behaviors go, and whatever their interests are. Whatever, if you have a disagreement about it, that's on you. You kind of have to like live with it. But just know, if it was coming in at 1 a.m., it may be 4 a.m. or maybe for the next 2-3 days you may not see them. That type of behavior. So that's their way of getting back. Aquarius, they're more likely to detach. Now, we already know this is a more aloof and detached sign, but they will detach to the point to where it's almost like they're vanishing right in front of your very eyes. They're either going to disappear mentally or physically to someplace unknown. And you may not get that back for weeks. So just expect more of the same behavior, just on a 2.0 type level. Okay? Gemini. Now, Geminis are not necessarily vengeful because they like to kind of get right back to where you guys were. If anything, it's kind of like the other two I just stated. They may go and get drunk or whatever, do heavy flirting, but they may feel guilty about it. It's not quite, may not be as damaging as the other signs, but they actually may put themselves through something, because more than likely they probably were in the wrong, right? Yeah, so this is a sign that they're not as apt to try to get vengeance, because this is the top most forgiving sign. Geminis are willing to forgive. So it's kind of challenging for them to get back at you. Unless you have just completely destroyed them, then they may go and they have to get wasted or be in a different state of mind to go and sleep with your best friend or your brother or your sister or something drastic like that. But it takes a lot from them. It actually harms them more than it harms you, believe it or not. Okay? Next, Libra. This is a more argumentative type sign. So their way of sort of not necessarily being petty is basically gaslighting you. They will change the entire scenario around. So all the arrows are pointing towards you. They are so smooth. If you were arguing about shirts, the entire conversation becomes about pants, shoes, and everything else except what the actual concern is. And they're not ever really going to change whatever their issue is. They may say they are, but typically they don't. Yet another unwavering sign who doesn't deviate from their behaviors before. So not a whole lot of pettiness there. Not really at all. They may go out and be unfaithful, but more so than likely they were probably already doing that. So if you are involved with a Libra who cheats, he or she will probably just do more of that. That's really all that is. Next, Taurus. Now, the Taurians, again, this is like not a really petty type sign. If anything, they will go into a rage. There may be some slapping around, a little violence, but if they are willing to get back with you, especially if you two don't reside together, the Taurus will vanish. A week, maybe 2 weeks. And see, the reason why that is because they want you to miss them. They want you to cry and weep. They may block you. They want you to yearn for them. And guess what? A week or two, maybe even a few days go by. They're back around. They're smiling. You're smiling. You're happy. You're hugging. And in their mind, they're thinking, gotcha. That's how smooth they are. Now, that's not to say that they haven't been off with someone else, because this is a smooth and sneaky sign like a Libra. Okay, that doesn't mean they have been just sitting back pondering about what you've been doing. Yeah, they may have missed you, but at the same time, they may have other options. All right, Leo. Leo is the sign of the ego. So whenever they've been offended, you've hurt their feelings, no matter how big or small, they will try to they will be more petty than vengeful. So their way of being petty is seeking attention. So if it means going on social media, engaging with other people, going on websites, that sort of thing, whatever it is, going to the strip club, anything to gain some sort of attention, because you have affected their ego. And in order for the Leo, who embraces its shadow side, they're going to do everything that they can to get that ego back up to where it needs to be by any means. And then they'll come back to you hoping that you would pity them and, love on them the way you were and apologize as well. So if your Leo is really into you and you do this sort of behavior for them, to them, just know they will be petty enough to do something else to make themselves, not necessarily to get back with you, but it's all about their ego. They have to do something to get back to where they were. All right. And Capricorn. Okay. So Capricorn, this is another sign who is in the moment, in the present. We're going to deal with this right now. They may say a little something. There may be some exchange of words. It may get a little heated. Capricorn walks away for a while, maybe a day, you may not hear back. And that is all because they are being implosive. They're imploding. They're boiling over inside. And just know when they come back, they're going to explode. They don't have to throw anything or do anything like that. There's a rage. They may take something and throw it, anything so that you can see their pain. And you're going to see and you're going to feel that level of intensity. Capricorn, they are as immature as some of them can be. They're actually more mature. They're going to deal with that issue right now, and we're going to get this out the way. I'm going to get my anger, my feelings all out. We're going to lay this out right now. There's no time for shenanigans, okay? Yeah. So that's pretty much it with Capricorn. They're probably the less vindictive sign. If anything, the worst that it could get is they become very violent, bust your windows, something like that. But there usually isn't any, petty behavior trying to get back at you. They just do what they need to do, get that out the way, get that understanding, and that is all. Okay? So my loves, that is all for the pettiest signs in the zodiac. Hopefully this has been informative for you. Look, if it does not apply, then just let it fly. Moreover, if it's any consolation to you, my zodiac sign is part of one of the top 3. Okay? Yeah. So guys, let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. If you know anyone who matches from my perspective, whom I think are the pettiest signs, let me know what you think, okay? Hopefully this has been informative and somewhat fun. I thank you for joining me always. Until next time.